And our top focus this Wednesday morning is on what's happening in Dominica, because a court today will decide the fate of fugitive Mehul Choksi at 6:30 p.m. today over his extradition back to India. The Indian authorities said that they've gathered documents including his Aadhaar, his PAN, his ration card to prove that the fugitive businessman never gave up his Indian citizenship. Here are all the details you need to know.
It's the Great Caribbean Chase. India's hunt for fraudster Mehul Choksi rests on what the Dominican court will decide on Wednesday. Currently in jail for allegedly illegally entering Dominica, the fugitive, Diamond Heir, will be produced in court at around 6:30 p.m. India time. The Dominican court will decide whether Choksi, wanted in the 13,000 crore PNB fraud, will be deported to India or will he be sent back to Antigua. Sources tell India Today that the Enforcement Directorate will file an application before the Dominican court, detailing Choksi's crime and the grounds for his deportation. India is to prove that Choksi is an Indian citizen who never completed the formalities and paperwork to surrender his Indian citizenship while taking the citizenship of Antigua. To support the claims, Indian authorities have gathered documents including Choksi's Aadhaar, PAN, ration cards, which show that he is still an active Indian citizen. The documents will be submitted before the Dominican court. Sources say that if court permits, the Enforcement Directorate will file this application to convince the court that the man in their custody is a wanted, accused since January 2018. And based on the red corner notice by Interpol, he should be deported back to India immediately. The ED officials are also trying to ensure that Choksi's case in Dominica should not get stuck in legalities, else it will be a long wait for India. Choksi, who now carries an Antiguan passport, disappeared mysteriously on May 23rd from Antigua. It is suspected that Choksi went on a romantic getaway with his girlfriend. His lawyer alleges that he was abducted and taken to Dominica as part of a conspiracy. Now all eyes are on the Dominican court. Will India get hold of the fraudster who has been evading the law for 3 years? With Munish Pandey in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, a decision that came in last evening is that the government has decided to cancel the CBSE Class 12 board exams this year in view, of course, of the prevailing COVID situation. The decision was taken at a high-level meet chaired by the Prime Minister, who stressed on the fact that the health of students must come first.
The news that lakhs of students were anxiously waiting for.
The latest news break right now coming in is that the CBSE Class 12 board exams are cancelled. They'd been suspended animation for a fair amount of time, and that's the latest news break, and it's huge.
On Tuesday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired a top-level meeting where he was briefed on the options before the government on holding the crucial Class 12 exams of the CBSE board. Until the PM's meeting, the general opinion was veering towards holding a short-format exam in July-August. But at the meeting, the Prime Minister decided that the government could take no chances. Modi during the meeting said that the current COVID environment remains dynamic and it isn't healthy to force students to give exams in such stressful environment. Moreover, he added that we must put an end to anxiety of students and parents over exams.
ये बहुत ही अच्छा निर्णय है। ये देश की नई पीढ़ी के लिए और सुरक्षा देने के लिए एक बड़ा कदम है।
Given the health risk involved in writing exams at centers, most students have hailed the government's decision.
We are all relieved right now that the boards are cancelled. Like, all really appreciate the decision taken by the Prime Minister. And I think there's a state of clarity in everybody's minds that now we have to just prepare for our competitive exams and not go ahead with class 12 studies.
एग्ज़ाम कैंसिल हो गए, ये बहुत अच्छी बात है क्योंकि हमारी हेल्थ सबसे फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटी पे आती है. हमारा काफ़ी प्रेशर बढ़ चुका था और अब हमें एक अच्छी न्यूज़ मिली है.
एक सेफ्टी के मेजर से देखा जाए तो ये हमारे लिए ठीक भी है. अभी जैसे जो हमारा प्रैक्टिकल हुआ है और उसके अर्लियर जितने भी टेस्ट वगैरह हुए थे सारे, तो उसके अकॉर्डिंगली अगर पास कर दिया जाए तो वो बेटर होगा.
The big question now is what next for students. The CBSE has said assessment will be made as per well-defined objective criteria in a time-bound manner. The government has also decided students not satisfied with the assessment will be given the option to appear in exams when the situation is conducive. It was decided that a time-bound assessment will be done to aid college admissions. Opposition parties, particularly the AAP government in Delhi, had been rooting for cancellation of the exams.
मुझे बहुत खुशी है इस बात की कि बच्चों के हित में फैसला लिया गया है. बच्चों को स्वास्थ्य को ध्यान में रखते हुए फैसला लिया गया है क्योंकि जिस तरह से देश में कोरोना बढ़ रहा है उसमें उनकी जान को खतरा था. कोई भी पेरेंट नहीं चाहता था कि उसके बच्चे को उसकी जान पे खेल के परीक्षा दिलवाई जाए.
After CBSE and CISE's decision to scrap Class 12 board examinations for this year, other state boards are likely to follow suit. But for now, the decision taken by the central government has brought about a sigh of relief for students across the country. With camera person Kirpal in the national capital, I'm Tanushree Pandey for India Today.
And in a big boost to India's COVID fight, US-made Moderna and Pfizer vaccines look set to be rolled out now in the country. Sources have told India Today that the Modi government is likely to go ahead and grant indemnity to the two vaccines, an issue that's been really a cause of friction, a cause of contention in recent times. This change in policy comes at a time when the centre has revised its vaccine target, wherein it aims to inoculate 1 crore people daily from July. Vaccine indemnity refers to essentially legal protection to a manufacturer or distributor from claims due to adverse effects after getting a COVID-19 vaccine. Both Moderna and Pfizer have now been granted indemnity in countries that they've rolled out the vaccine so far. Let's also get you ground reports now on the situation as far as the coronavirus crisis is concerned and the vaccination drive. As Bengal battles the resurgent virus, it's also facing an uphill task of vaccinating its citizens. Why? Because there's a shortage of jabs in the state. And that's not all. Vaccine hesitancy in the slums of Kolkata is aggravating the crisis further. Here's a report by Ankit Tyagi.
Kolkata is facing a big challenge. The post-election jump in COVID infections is a big cause of worry, and controlling the spread has been a major challenge. Especially when more than 15 lakh people in Kolkata live in slums. For many, social distancing in their compact homes is impossible.
घर जिनका छोटा घर है या फिर बड़ा घर है, घर में ज्यादा लोग हैं, तो कैसे, अगर किसी को अलग अलग भी रहना होगा तो कैसे रहेंगे? छोटे से घर में सबको तो ऐसे ही मैनेज करके रहना पड़ेगा ना. बीमारी तो अभी आई है, लोग तो पहले से ही इसी तरह से रह रहे हैं. अब इसके लिए अगर कोई व्यवस्था होगा तब ना लोग अलग अलग दूरी बना के रह सकते हैं. अब छोटे घर में लोग अगर ज्यादा लोग हैं तो किसको बोलेंगे घर के आप बाहर चले जाइए, आप उधर चले जाइए? सबको तो एक साथ में ही रहना है.
These people living in the slums have largely been left out of the government's efforts to use vaccinations as a mode to contain the pandemic.
केसेस आ रहे हैं आप लोगों की बस्ती में?
हाँ सर, कुछ केसेस आए हैं सर. अभी हम लोग ये आपको ये कुरी नंबर में 42 का 2 में एक हुआ था सर, जो डेड कर गया कोरोना से ही.
टेस्टिंग वगैरह हुआ है यहाँ पे?
ना टेस्टिंग हुआ नहीं सर. वो लोग सर ऑलरेडी कहीं दिखा देते प्राइवेट में, तो उन लोगों को बताया गया कि आप लोग कोरोना, आप लोग क्वारंटाइन ही रहिए घर में.
Despite being registered on the CoWIN portal, it's an endless wait to get the jab.
Already registered करके रखा हुआ है.
तो अभी आपने इसमें कोई स्लॉट आपको नहीं मिला है?
जी.
आपने कोशिश करा स्लॉट लेने का?
सब कुछ कोशिश करके देख लिया है, लेकिन कोई भी रिस्पॉन्स, कोई रिप्लाई नहीं है.
Then there are those who are unwilling to take a vaccination, and their reasons for it border on the bizarre.
क्या आप लोगों ने वैक्सीन लगवाया है?
नहीं सर,
नहीं लगा।
नहीं।
क्यों नहीं लगा?
हम लोग को मालूम नहीं था, इसलिए।
पता नहीं चला, लॉकडाउन चला, अभी कहाँ जाएंगे हम लोग, ये दोनों को पता ही नहीं है ना।
कह रहे हैं कि मोबाइल पे आपको करना आता है, अपने आप को रजिस्टर मोबाइल पे?
नहीं,
आपको बोला सर यहाँ पर ऐसा कोई कोरोना नाम का चीज नहीं।
लाइन लगाने के बाद, दिन भर लाइन लगाने के बाद भी नंबर नहीं आ रहा है। हम नहीं गए थे, परिवार गया था मेरा।
कॉर्पोरेशन हुआ हाई रोड में है वो।
हम लोग चलो फाका होगा, लॉकडाउन खत्म होगा, फाका होगा तो जाएगा।
कोरोना से डर नहीं लगता है।
क्यों?
क्योंकि हमारा जो सरकार है टीएमसी का, ममता बनर्जी, बॉबी हकीम, आलम भाई, असगर भाई, जो भी है यहाँ का, हम लोग को बहुत सारा सपोर्ट कोऑपरेट करता है। और हम लोग शौकत भाई बहुत सपोर्ट करते हैं यहाँ पे, जिससे कि कोई भी जैसे हॉस्पिटल के प्रॉब्लम होने से 1-2 आदमी की यहाँ हुआ था, तो हम लोग बोलने से क्या है कि हम लोग को कोऑपरेट मिलता है।
The shortage of doses in the state has been an obstacle to the vaccine drive. Those who've managed one consider themselves lucky.
मैंने 1 डोज लगवाया सर।
आसानी से हो गया?
आसानी से हो गया।
अभी आप इंतजार कर रहे हैं अपने?
हाँ, डबल डोज के लिए मैं इंतजार कर रहा हूँ सर।
आपने लिखवाया भाई साहब?
हाँ, वैक्सीन लगाया।
लगवाया आपने?
हाँ, 1 डोज लगवाया, अगले महीने 1 डोज है।
अगले महीने डोज है। आसानी से लग गया आपको?
हाँ, आसानी से लगाया, तो कॉर्पोरेशन में जाकर लगाया।
Life in the slums is always tough, and the pandemic has only made it much harder for the people, those who have been living right at the margins of the society. Open drains, absolutely filthy conditions. The problem for them has only compounded with the lockdown and, of course, the COVID pandemic. With very little information as far as the coronavirus is concerned, most here are swinging between vaccine hesitancy and shortage of vaccine and facilities to protect themselves. This is now going to be the next big challenge as far as the coronavirus policy of the government is concerned. With camera person Dinesh Tal, Ankit Tyagi in Kolkata, India Today.
Now, the B1617 variant of novel coronavirus, which was first detected in India, is spreading globally. And one of the lineages of this variant has been classified as a variant of concern by the WHO. Sneha Mordani explains more about this particular variant.
It is a variant dominant in India and wreaking havoc in different parts of the world. We explain what exactly is B.1.617 and what are the lineages of this variant. First, the origin. Identified via genome sequencing in India, in common parlance is called the Indian variant. The World Health Organization says a virus variant should not be named after a country. India too has been upset about this. B.1.617 was identified in Maharashtra in October last year. What about its impact vis-a-vis the transmissibility of this variant? It has been understood only gradually is what scientists are telling us. The B.1.617 variant, first detected in India, is now prevalent in more than 54 countries globally. In countries other than India, the first cases of the variant were detected in late February 2021, including the United Kingdom, the United States and Singapore. B.1.617 viruses are divided in 3 lineages, which is B.1.617.1, B.1.617.2 and B.1.617.3. According to the World Health Organization, B.1.617.1 is found in 41 countries. The second one, B.1.617.2 in 54 countries and B.1.617.3 in 6 countries. The World Health Organization has declared this variant a variant of concern. Meanwhile, its lineages, which is B.1.617.2, is a VOC, B.1.617.1 and B.1.617.3 are variants under investigation. The WHO says this variant has increased transmissibility. Disease severity is under investigation. Risk of infection is under investigation. Possible modest reduction in neutralization activity is being seen. So what exactly is a variant of concern? Well, to be classified as a variant of concern, it must pose a risk to public health over and above the original Wuhan virus. This could be due to changes in transmissibility, to see how easily it spreads, disease severity, its ability to evade detection by viral diagnostic tests, and also reduced effectiveness of treatments, or an ability to evade natural or vaccine-induced immunity. What about vaccines and how effective are they against this variant? The Indian Council of Medical Research says that Bharat Biotech's Covaxin is able to neutralize B.1.617, although with lower efficacy. The WHO says that current vaccines will continue to be effective against the variant. Well, in an update in the month of May, they said there may be some evidence of reduced neutralization though. In a study that has been conducted by the Public Health England, has found 2 doses of either the Pfizer and the BioNTech vaccine or the AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine called the Covishield in India may give effective protection against this variant, though there are some studies that suggest there could be low level of antibodies induction by the AstraZeneca vaccine against the subvariant, which is found in more than 54 countries, and that's the B.1.617.2 variant.
Let's get you the latest update on that ugly face-off between doctors and Yoga Guru Ramdev. Top doctor associations came together to protest against Ramdev and his remarks on allopathy. Here are the updates you need to know on that protest yesterday.
अरेस्ट तो वो जो है उनका बाप भी कोई नहीं कर सकता स्वामी रामदेव को। लाखों लोगों की मौत एलोपैथी की दवा खाने से हुई है। एलोपैथी एक ऐसी स्टूपिड और दिवालिया साइंस है, अपने आप को ही नहीं बचा पाई, वो कैसी डॉक्टरी। तो मैंने कहा डॉक्टर बनना है तो स्वामी रामदेव जैसा बन, जिसके पास में कोई डिग्री नहीं और सबका डॉक्टर है।
These are some of Ramdev's earlier statements against allopathy. And doctors obviously are not very happy, despite an apology by the yoga guru. Doctors on Tuesday marked a black day against Ramdev by wearing black bands. Staff at several hospitals held demonstrations with placards. Some doctors on duty even displayed PPE kits with messages.
पीएम मोदी जी एक तरफ कह रहे हैं कि वैक्सीन की तरफ जाएं और ये कह रहे हैं कि वैक्सीन मत लगाएं। इनको एपिडेमिक के तरफ इनको गिरफ्तार करना बहुत लाजमी है। अगर नहीं किया तो कितनी जानों का खतरा हो सकता है पूरे भारत में।
All doctors are hurt by his statements, which he is saying again and again against the modern medicine, against those COVID warriors who has lost their lives. 1,200 to 1,400 doctors in the country have lost their lives treating the patients since the first wave of the COVID pandemic.
Deliberately telling again and again, he is telling the same thing, and he is not even apologized before also. And I'm thinking he is not even going to apologize. We want government to take action against him under the Epidemic Act.
Actually, Baba Ramdev or Lala Ramdev, I can say, he's an anti-science person who does not believe in science, is having zero scientific temperament, and is only interested in promoting all his brands.
The doctors' body IMA, which is at the forefront of the protest against the Ayurveda proponent, is seeking a written apology of 1,000 crore for defamation.
Wearing black badges and holding these placards, the Resident Doctors Association at AIIMS is protesting against Baba Ramdev for his statements. Doctors across the country are protesting today and asking for criminal charges against Ramdev under the Epidemic Diseases Act as well as other sections of the IPC, including defamation of the entire medical profession. The doctors also say that Ramdev's statements could potentially encourage people to not take vaccines, which will have a very serious detrimental effect on the way the country is tackling the COVID epidemic.
Ramdev has maintained that he is not against modern medicine, but against disrespect of Ayurveda and calling it a pseudoscience.
आयुर्वेद का अपमान क्यों, योग का अपमान क्यों, अनादर क्यों? और बार बार IMA जो कि जो है बल्ब को, पेंट को और साबुन तेल को उसको प्रमाणित करने का काम कर रहा है और कोरोनिल को अप्रमाणिक कह करके और आयुर्वेद की मजाक उड़ाता है। विवाद मात्र इस बात से मैंने कहा है।
The big question is, Amid this pandemic, will this allopathy versus Ayurveda face-off see an end anytime soon? With Anisha Mathur and Ashutosh Mishra, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, as far as the Sagar Dhankar murder case is concerned, wrestler Sushil Kumar is the prime accused. But if you think that this was the first time that two-time Olympic medalist Sushil Kumar was actually involved in any heinous activities, then you're wrong. India Today has learnt that Sushil was under the surveillance of cops for quite some time for hobnobbing with hardcore criminals and gangsters.
A celebrated icon with 2 Olympic medals, idolized by millions across the world. But soon it all took a black hue for wrestler Sushil Kumar. The rot began in 2017 when Sushil ventured into running a toll plaza business, a highly lucrative one. Needing musclemen to collect tolls from wayward motorists, Sushil turned to dreaded Western UP gangster Anil Bhati, nephew of jailed mafia don Sundar Bhati. This old image of Sushil and Bhati together establishes the wrestler-gangster proximity. Anil Bhati, who's accused of murdering a BJP leader among other crimes, started supplying hardcore criminals to run the Sushil Kumar managed toll plazas. Delhi and National Capital Region Police, who had an inkling of the wrestler's links to gangsters, had started putting him under surveillance. But Sushil had so far evaded them.
India Today has learned that wrestler Sushil Kumar was under surveillance of cops for a long time for hobnobbing with hardcore criminal and gangster. The Olympian, however, used to leave little evidence of his criminal links, but his arrest in the Sagar Dhankar murder case has made skeleton tumble out of his clothes.
Apart from mulling organised crime law makoka against him, the Delhi police has now suspended Sushil Kumar's arms license and moved to revoke it completely. His pistol, recovered after the murder of Sagar Rana, has been sent for forensic testing. The police had earlier seized a double-barrel gun and 3 bullets from an SUV owned by a gangster and aid of the wrestler from the crime spot. Sushil, whose video assaulting Sagar Rana, the young wrestler, had been recovered and is also accused of opening fire at Delhi's Chhatrasal Stadium to intimidate the young wrestler who finally died that day.